Hi, welcome to this course. So happy to have you join in. And today we're going to be covering the first module, which is what are the benefits of fasting. So, at a high level, we'll go through my background when it comes to fasting, our guiding principles that we'll use throughout our curriculum, the benefits of fasting, that'll be the crux of it, and I'll leave you with a few additional resources if you want to continue your research. So, hi, I'm Chirayu. If that's very hard for you to say, you can call me Chi. I love researching and experimenting with fasting. And each time I do a fast, I actually have been keeping detailed records and notes. So I treat it like an experiment and then I come back to it with additional things I want to try out, or I know very well at this point how my body reacts at certain times of my fast. And that just helps me out. Very clearly, I am not a doctor, guys. I studied engineering and I've spent most of my career building startups for myself or for some other amazing founders. But yeah, I'm not a doctor. If you're ever in doubt or have special circumstances, please talk to your doctors. Um, So I started fasting in 2017 when I still lived in Bombay at the time. And yeah, I considered doing it for the weight loss benefits, which seemed very logical to me. But I hesitated to jump in just for that. And when I started researching, I found out that there were massive brain health benefits. And I'd seen uh, all of my grandparents who'd gotten beyond a certain age, beyond 90, started developing brain issues, whether it was dementia or things along those lines. So when I saw that fasting could actually help prevent that, I was sold and I thought, let me start fasting in my 20s to have a chance of having a healthy brain as I got older. Um, and I think of my fasting journey in two phases. So the first phase was the first 5 years, and I did a lot of 24-hour to 40-hour fast at this time. So one of the modules that I did for myself, which was very effective, was I would eat a dinner on Sunday, and then I would try to fast till Tuesday morning. But often I would end up eating dinner on Monday, and so that would make it about a 24-hour fast. And if I got to the Tuesday morning or lunch, then we're about 36 to 40 hours. So I did that for a lot of the time. I tried extending my duration of the fasting, and the most I got to was 68 hours. Honestly, I made a lot of mistakes in this phase in terms of how I ended my fasts, and I would give in to cravings at the end. And I'm hoping that a lot of you will avoid those mistakes through my learnings. And then there was a new phase, right? So from 2022, I think the game changed for me. What happened was that in 2022 I did my first 7 day fast. So then the arithmetic changed in my head from hours to now a week. So I could think about fasting in terms of days and weeks for the first time, which is a big step change because early on in the journey, fasting is thought about in hours and minutes even. And then in 2023, I had a moment where I was able to take out some time and I had the strong desire to do a long fast. And I actually managed to do a 26-day fast. Um, and then earlier this year, I did a 14-day water fast. So this was the first time I did a fast where there was only water consumed. In the past, I've continued to consume caffeine and nicotine if I was consuming it at the time. But this fast in 2024, I had only water. Yeah, these are some photographs. So this was before and after the 26-day fast last year. I happened to have the same friend in town two times, and you can see me on the left and my friend on the right. So the physical is easy to see, but there's a lot more going on in the body, which we'll talk about in this course. And then this was, in the middle of the 2 week fast this year. So just to highlight, the body completely changes. And what we can see is the weight and the outside appearance, but a lot of stuff I think is happening inside as well. So as much as I love fasting, sadly I don't think it's for everyone, and you need to ask yourself if you're a good candidate for fasting. So there are few categories where it's a no-no to fast in my view. First one being if you're below the age of 18, I would avoid fasting. Just do it in a few years. If you somehow found this video, wait for a few years. Don't do it. Anyone who's on any kind of medication, you should talk to your doctor, because fasting can have impacts and your medication might react differently to having food or not. So check with your doctor, do your own research, please. Um, any woman who's pregnant or breastfeeding, fasting cannot be done. You have a life growing, and then you're feeding this baby when you're breastfeeding. So it's a situation where one should not be fasting. And then when it comes to body fat percentage, for men who have less than around 10% body fat and women with less than about 17% body fat, you're getting into risky territory. People have had adverse reactions to long term fasting. So a lot of this is especially when you go into like days and weeks of fasting. Not so much, I think, when it's 12 to 24 hours. Um, but keep in mind that if you have low body fat, for example, I have a friend who does a lot of ultra marathons and triathlons. He's not a good candidate, in my view, for fasting. And then lastly, anyone who has severe eating disorders also, I don't think, should be doing fasting. Cool. Also, we're going to have a few guiding principles throughout our modules. So, one, always think from an evolutionary perspective. Um, and why I call that out is, whenever you're in doubt, sadly, all the research has not been done on fasting, or in most fields of science, actually. There has been some research that's done, but it's very rigorous and it takes a lot of time and funding to do. So, if you're trying to find out a very unique question of, hey, I'm an Indian man who likes to go to the sauna and do lift weights, can I do fasting? Now, a lot of this kind of stuff is not going to have been done, the research for this. So, one needs to just think from an evolutionary perspective and ask yourself, how would this have played out for our ancestors over the tens and thousands of years? And what's the genetics that I have? That's what I try to do. And the reason I call that out is that genetics take a very long time to evolve. So, in our lifetimes, for us, 10, 50, 100 years seems like a long time, but we've been evolving for hundreds of thousands of years, if not millions, right? So, just think about that. Um, think from first principles, always ask why. And it's not just about fasting, it's about the messaging that we're getting from the world, actually, all the time. And then this is a big one. I'll actually talk more about this in the next module, but just understand that incentives for all the players are not always aligned. So, players, I mean, like yourself and your family is one player in this ecosystem, but then there's the government, there's healthcare companies, business, industry in general. Just understand that incentives are not aligned, sadly. As much as you would think they are or would like them to be, they are not. So yeah, let's dive into the crux of the course now. So imagine there was a medicine that gave you all of these benefits over here. So not just increasing your lifespan, but helping you reverse type 2 diabetes, regenerating stem cells, literally new stem cells being generated by your body, helping you think better, feel better, look younger, and just resetting your body. How much would you be willing to pay for a medicine like this? Just think about that. We pay a lot for medicine across the world, especially in the West. I would say like thousands of dollars personally. Um, but you can have all of this for free. All one needs to do is, unleash the magic, like tap it by fasting, is what it seems, and that's what I've experienced as well personally. So yeah, fasting has shown to have longevity benefits. It doesn't just increase lifespan, but healthy lifespan, right? Like I'm not personally concerned about adding more years to my life. I want to have healthy years where I continue to stay active and do the things that I love to do. And fasting has shown that it can have these benefits. It can help you prevent getting type 2 diabetes and also reversing it. So it really works on a hormonal level to change your insulin resistance, which is actually the core of type 2 diabetes, and helps you become insulin sensitive again. So this combined, fasting combined with lifestyle changes, can actually reverse type 2 diabetes. This has been well documented at this point. Tremendous brain health benefits. So your body actually ends up increasing the production of BDNF, or brain derived neurotropic factor. And this goes hand in hand with reducing your risk of developing brain related diseases like Alzheimer's and dementia in the future. Autophagy is a buzzword in the last many years. There was a Nobel Prize that a Japanese scientist won for it. It's basically the body healing itself at a cellular level, and fasting triggers autophagy quite quickly, actually. Human growth hormone goes up, tons of benefits with increased production of human growth hormone for most healthy people. If it goes way too high, that's a problem, but that's not what we're talking about. It goes up to a healthy level and helps your body function a lot better and helps you look younger. The skin getting better, I think, is a result of this as well. I've touched on this already. Your body literally generates stem cells during a fast. Again, well documented. Do your own research, but this is documented. The skin honestly gets a lot clearer if one ends up doing a long fast like I've done. My skin after like 5-10 days of fasting is looking so much younger. My face glows, the pimples clear out, to be honest. And you can start seeing some of these benefits even with shorter fasts that one does regularly. This is tremendous. Like your gut microbiome, there's a lot more documentation and research being done about this and how that has a real direct impact on your health. Fasting helps completely heal your gut microbiome and also helps reset it. Tremendous. Yeah, honestly, each time I've done a fast, I just feel very happy and zen. Things feel a lot lighter, and I get less bogged down by the regular stresses of life. Even while I continue to live my normal life, only with the addition of the change of not eating food, I would say. And yeah, I actually get back time. So when I think about most things in life, it costs me money and it takes time to do these things. With fasting, actually, it's not taking me any time. I'm getting back time. On average, I think I spend about 3+ hours a day thinking about food, buying groceries, cooking my meal, eating my meal, socializing with people to eat that meal, traveling for the grocery shop and everything. And when I'm fasting, I actually get that time back. So I found that my days are more productive and get done faster on the weekdays. And yeah, it actually saves money. I'm not spending money on food and groceries and eating out. I'll still join my friends, but I don't spend money. And living in London, this can easily be like 15 to 30 pounds a day, for example, or more based on how you eat and dine. Yeah, like as one fasts regularly, like joint pains really reduce and body aches reduce. I think the body is just healing and getting less inflamed as one fasts, and the benefits really accrue as the fast go longer. Every single time I fast, my thoughts become clearer. I get more efficient at work, and I have creative breakthroughs. So that's one of the reasons I actually like to fast. Is that I'm solving a problem. I've been stuck at it. Like life hits a rut every year after a few months. If I do a fast, I feel better. I have breakthroughs, and then I continue with life again. This has really helped me change my relationship with food. A lot of people have had concerns for me, thinking that when I'm fasting, I'm losing my mind and this is a form of an eating disorder. But actually, it's the reverse of it for me and for many of my friends. When I stop eating, and I hope you get these benefits as well, I actually observe my patterns of when I would like to go and grab a food. So someone recently told me they went to their office. They were on a fast with me, and they just went and grabbed a cookie that was kept in the office every single time. And he was about to eat it, and then he said, "Actually, I'm fasting right now, and I'm not even hungry." And then he had a moment where he thought about why he had just been doing this out of habit for so many months now, even though he had no real hunger. So fasting actually helps you observe your patterns with food and your relationship to foods. And I really hope it'll give you a chance to see that we don't actually understand hunger very well. We're eating out of habit. So there's no physiological hunger at times during a fast. It's just psychological. So it's the cravings that we have. It's a certain pattern at a certain time at which we eat. Certain set of company and friends, when we're with them, we feel like eating certain things as well. Um, so your fasting really helped me change this relationship. I think it's good for the environment as well, right? Like objectively, you are reducing carbon footprint and environmental load. You're not eating anything, whether it's meat, fruit, veg, stuff being transported from all over the world. I think this is good. Yes, weight management as well. Definitely, if one has a good fasting routine, it has an impact on weight, but it's also like you're having a calorie deficit and you're burning some fat. But more than that, actually, it's about all the other things that are happening. Your gut microbiome is healing, you're becoming calmer, your relationship with food is changing. So when you end the fast as well, I think eating habits improve, and that does help actually reduce weight. For those of you who are so inclined, I find it to be a very spiritual experience when I fast every time. This is one of the biggest benefits that I get. I become extremely meditative, zen, and it's a state of mind that I crave in my normal life. And I'm able to tap into that through fasting. So this is a whole new, different side. But yeah, think about it. See how you feel. Um, Read some nice things. Watch some talks during your fast. It's truly beautiful. And then it's a phenomenal thing, right? It's something I like to do for the challenge as well. It really helps me build my willpower and mental strength. And often when I'm faced with hardships in my life, especially the few months after the fast, I have to keep thinking about, hey, if I can do a 14-day water fast, then this is nothing, right? Like it's just a few more sets at the gym. Oh yeah, it's a bad day at the office, but it's fine. I can do a 14-day water fast, so this is not that hard. And that mental resilience, I think, is amazing for all of us to have. And honestly, there's just many more reasons why I like to fast. And as the world is rediscovering this and going deeper into this, I think we keep finding more amazing things that we can do with fasting and the benefits that it has for us. So, two additional videos if you do want to spend some time and watch them. This is by Mark Mattson. He uh, he is a professor at John Hopkins. He might have retired, I think, but this was the first talk that I watched on fasting, which convinced me to do it. Um, so it came out about 10 years ago now, and it's called Why Fasting Bolsters Brain Power. It's a 17-minute talk. I highly recommend every single person to watch this talk. And then the second one is by Dr. Pradeep Jamnadas. It's called Fasting for Survival. He actually has many videos online, and at least 4 5 1 hour long videos on fasting. But this is the first one he gave and released about 4 5 years ago on YouTube. So it's a longer talk, it's 81 minutes, but highly recommend everyone to watch this. That's it. Thank you guys. Stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next module very soon.